Welcome to the House of Hammer built by the nation for the nation. Welcome to Raider Nation News today. I am your host and the tribal chief of Raider Nation, Hammer.
Acknowledge me!
Hope everybody's having a great Tuesday wherever you guys are at. Before we even get into things, y'all know the routine. Those new in here, let me teach you real quick. Smash some thumbs, hammer that sub, crush the bell to stay up to date with all your Raiders news, rumors, updates, live streams, and reactions. Do a quick roll call, and we're going to talk about this latest mock draft that Mel Kiper and Field Yates did of ESPN. It was a 3-round mock. There's a lot of things that have gone on in these last 24 hours that is definitely creating a lot of buzz, especially as it pertains to the 6th overall pick, which we own. And we're going to talk about that. But let's do a quick roll call, and then we'll get into it. Salute to Rosetown. Salute to Anthony. Salute to Martin, my neighbor across the pond. Adam Sweeney. Anthony, Raider Ryan. Edgar Flores. Let's see. I think that's it right now. I know we just scheduled this, so I'm not sure how many people are going to pull up. I want to try to get on during the day, at least this week, when I have the opportunity. And seeing this latest mock draft that came out early this morning, I was like, we got something to talk about. I want to get on. I want to talk about this. Salute to Alfredo, DeMarcus. And yeah, for those who don't know, Darian Hopkins, D-Hop, Spotlight, a whole bunch of other names, tragically passed away early Sunday morning at the age of 39. Thoughts, prayers, strength, faith with him and his family during this difficult time. Pretty much around the same age, and he passed away early Sunday morning. So rest in paradise to Spotlight. So yeah, this mock draft, we'll go through the top 10 first in round 1, and then we're going to go through the round 2 pick for us and the round 3 pick. Regular, actually, no, this is actually stayed the same. So top 10 looks like it's the same as it has been. They went back and forth in terms of the picks in between Field Yates and Mel Kiper. So Field Yates had the odds. Mel Kiper had the evens. First round, first overall pick, Tennessee Titans select Cam Ward. Cleveland at number 2 takes Travis Hunter. The New York Football Giants take Abdul Carter at 3. Will Campbell, the offensive tackle out of LSU, goes to New England with the number 4 pick. Jacksonville, defensive tackle out of Michigan, Mason Graham. For us, this has been the same pick week in, week out for the last couple of weeks for Mel Kiper, Ashton Genty. For the Jets at 7, they got Armand Membo. Carolina takes Jalen Walker, the linebacker and edge out of Georgia, the number 9 pick. And this buzz started last week. You guys saw the short that I put out. New Orleans takes Shedeur Sanders. Now, Shedeur did meet with the Raiders top 30 visit the other day. This is where we're talking about a little bit of buzz, because a lot of people, including myself, have been like, hey, we have Geno Smith here. We don't necessarily need a quarterback right this second. We don't need to draft a quarterback in this draft. But Shedeur did make a visit, did do that top 30 visit. We know he's a Tom Brady guy. Are we going in another direction? Number 10, Chicago Bears take Tyler Warren, the tight end out of Penn State. So that rounds out the top 10. So we're going to go to round 2. And with, what are we at, 37 here. This is Field Yates' pick on this one. He has this taking Josh Simmons, the offensive tackle out of Ohio State. Colton Miller, we know, is the anchor. He is our starting left tackle, but he is set to be a free agent in 2026. Simmons might be coming off of a knee injury, but his skill set fits well for the Raiders. He could be the guy to replace Colton Miller in the event that Colton Miller is not re-signed. Something to think about moving forward. This is another one where it gets a little weird. We had the 68th overall pick, right? In this mock draft, this 3-round mock that Field Yates and Mel Kiper did, there is a projected trade here. The Steelers get the Raiders' number 68th pick. We get the Steelers' 83rd overall and a 2026 third rounder. And with that pick, the Pittsburgh Steelers select Jalen Milroe. Now at 83, the pick that we are getting from the Steelers, we are projected, and this is another Field Yates pick. We are projected to select Shamar Turner, the defensive tackle out of Texas A&M. This is what Yates said in terms of this pick. The Raiders land here after the projected trade down with the Raiders. They are seeking help on the defensive line, and Turner has some intriguing traits. His 2024 numbers weren't super impressive. He only had 2 sacks, but he had 6 sacks and 31 pressures in 2023. I don't know how I feel about these picks by them. It's very, very weird to see. I see more people are coming in right now, and I apologize if I missed you guys. CGR's in here, Rorschach's in here. I'm pretty sure I said salute to Adam. Mike Rains is in here. The Mod Mom is in here. Reader Deb, salute. Are we missing anyone? Are we missing anyone yet? Cider, what up? Sweeney. Think we're good right now. I don't know how I necessarily feel about this mock draft that they did. And again, this came out early this morning, but yes, Genty, cool. Shout out to the Raider Nation Drinking Club. Shout out to Thor. Salute, my guy. Genty, yeah, I'm cool with. We've talked about the needs. We've talked about certain scenarios. Now it was a different situation a while back where yes, we didn't have a quarterback, right? So it's like, let's get a quarterback. And then round 2 was a 1A, 1B. We go running back or we go offensive lineman. We have our quarterback now. We're looking at Genty with 6. And then, at least for me, it's been a toss-up between the wide receivers and the corners. Who are we going to go with there? Of course, ESPN wants to throw that little fucking monkey wrench in. So now round 2, we are going the route of an offensive tackle that could eventually be the successor to Colton Miller. And then round 3, we trade back and we go defensive line. What about the major needs that we need to address right now? Because our interior is good. Kuntz is back at the edge. I don't know how I feel about that one. DeMarcus just asked who's my player comp for Genty. I'm sorry, I haven't highlighted anybody yet. Damn, that actually looks really clean too. My player comp for Genty. I really don't want to do a comp, honestly, because honestly, like for me, those comps sometimes are just full blown cap, and I don't want to sit here and say, "Oh yeah, he's this guy," and then he's completely not. So I'm not going to give a comp. I'm sorry, I can't do that. Rosetown said we'll see in 9 days. Yeah, I still wish we kept chasing. Yeah, we kind of shit the bed on that one. I'm stoked for the draft, bro. How you feel about drafting Shador? And Cider, this is the thing. Now that we did bring him in for a top 30 visit, now that a team like, and I talked about this the other day, the Browns brought back Flacco for a year. And maybe they feel they don't need a quarterback in this draft class. They can wait until next year as well. They can go and take Travis Hunter with the 2nd overall, right? You look at the New York Football Giants, they got Russell Wilson, they got Jameis Winston. They are trying to save their jobs. I don't see them going for a quarterback right now. We have a quarterback in Geno Smith. Pretty much the teams that were in need, they have. We could pass on Shador and get a running back, but and I've said this a few times, I'm very intrigued to see how your guys' reaction is going to be in the event that we go one way or the other, whether we take Shador with that 6 overall or we take Genty. I'm very, very curious to see how you guys are going to react on draft night if we take either one of those guys. I think a lot of you will be ecstatic about Genty, especially like as piss poor as our running game was last year. But I also think flip of the coin, people are going to be excited about Shador, but then you're going to get those that are going to be like, oh, Gino's ass, Shador should start now. It's very much a double-edged sword for us right now as we stand with that 6 overall pick. I'm good with anything except a corner at 6. And you know what's funny? We the earlier mock drafts a couple times here and there, I was going that route. I was thinking Seawood, I was thinking Michigan, and I wanted to take the corner. But a lot of people convinced me otherwise. The name Flacco makes me think of the replacements. It's so funny because dude seems to be somewhat of a journeyman now. It's like, yeah, I could see that. But it's Falco in the replacement, Shane Falco. I'll be all about Genty still. Yeah, like I said, this is incredibly. It's just so upside down now, especially now that the news did come out that we did do a top 30 visit with Shador. It's just like, what are we doing? Where are we going here? Like, am I trusting in what we have with this front office? Am I trusting in Uncle Pete? Yes. It's just incredibly like very, very like please do this to set us up for success for the next couple of years. Please set this up the correct way for us to compete in the division. Please set this up for us to not be 0-6 in our division. Please set this up for us to be over 500 and not again be in the top 10 when it comes to draft picks come next season. I just hope this makes the best sense in the world, and I hope that it works out for our organization for years to come. I'm gonna see if our guy is around right now. I freaking am logged out of like everything, so I have to try to see if this is gonna work. But if he's around right now, oh great, authentication code. Where is this going? I hate this shit. Hold on, guys, and I'm sorry for the dead air. Let's see if I can send if our guy is up and I can send him the link and see if he wants to pull up. It's been a minute anyway, so let's see if he wants to. Trying to find him on here and I can't. Hold on, guys. I am so sorry. You know I never do this. And we will do a mock during this live today as well, most definitely. Sending it to him now. Let's see what happens. And get you guys back up on the screen. And I'm trying to see what you like. I'm sorry that I'm not. There you go. I hope Sanders is gone by. Ryan, I don't think it's going to happen now. If they love Shador, bring him in. Yeah, I don't want to draft someone who is injured, not on the field. We can't draft Shador if they have doubts about him. We went from almost sweeping our division to losing every game. That's a fact. Except my dream is to trade up and get Hunter. Yeah, we have drafted him a couple of times with how weird these websites are in these mock drafts, and somehow we always manage to land Travis Hunter is like there at 6. I don't see that happening realistically come next Thursday night. I really don't. Laura said long snapper at 6. I can't. Afakasi, salute, my guy. A man from the land down under, salute. I don't know. I don't know. I just sent the link. I want to see if dude is up. Hold on. See if he responds. See if I'm missing anything in here right now. Nope. I think we're good. No receiver at 6 either. Sweeney. Let's just play scenario here. What if, and this is a huge what if Travis Hunter is there at 6? Would you not take him? This is a guy that can play both ways. Do we necessarily know if he's going to play both ways at the next level? It's hard to say. I think specific organizations and specific head coaches might do it, and others will be very distant from doing that. But would you go that route? Giovanni, salute. Desert, 3-time champ is in the building. Salute. If they're at 6, you have to take him. Okay. Okay. There really hasn't been anything else that is going on. We talked about we wait. So Sanders isn't going to show up at the draft. That's great. We talked about, and I think it was Sunday, we talked about Kyron Lacey, and there you guys see it across the bottom of the screen. It was an apparent suicide. Parsons present as Cowboys get to work. Still doesn't have a deal yet. And there was news that came out that now Mad Max has taken a role as the assistant GM at his alma mater, Eastern Michigan. Congratulations to him. Again, you know, there's been so many changes as it pertains to collegiate athletes and the NIL deals and everything. Pretty much he's going to be a guy that can intrigue prospects to come and play for his alma mater. So congratulations to him. I totally forgot about that, and I was all over the place last night as well. Napa's not happening, Raider Deb. Yeah, I actually saw this. I think it was last week. Napa's not happening this season. If Graham and Genty are there, who do you take? Graham, I see going to Jacksonville. I'm going to take Genty. But yeah, Napa is a no-go. I'm so sorry to even I had a feeling that was the reaction I was going to get from you, Deb. But yeah, unfortunately, it is not happening in Napa this coming offseason. So sorry. At Rose Town State was looking forward to Napa too. Yeah, it's not happening. And like I said, I'm pretty sure it broke last week. I definitely read something about it last week. I don't remember full details on why, but let's take a look. What's crazy is there is like something that says that they are returning, but this was 2 weeks ago actually. And let's see. In February, Pete Coach got Bay Area Vegas fans excited when Sirius NFL radio that the team was planning to return to Napa, California for training camp. The plan wasn't finalized as a team, but it was the hope for the franchise. However, while at the NFL owners meeting, The Athletic reported that it appears that Napa plan will not happen this year. Vic Tafer did tweet this out, and this was on March 31st. Doesn't sound like training camp in Napa is going to happen after all. Raiders gave it a shot. So there you guys go. There is your confirmation. Napa's not happening. Sir Dre, salute. Alfredo, salute. I see Walt is in the building, and hopefully he can behave himself today. General Manager Walt is at number 49 in his mock, has Genty number 6, Jaden Higgins number 37. I like that. Yeah, I'm good, Alfredo. I'm good, man. She said Duckers. I'm done. Brock Bowers probably pissed Napa, didn't let them. Good Lord. Y'all are too much. How many do we have? We have 105 in here right now, and we're on a whole bunch of different platforms, so it's not as many on YouTube right now. But if you guys want to be a part of the conversation, come on over to YouTube, Raider Nation News Today. And if you haven't already, smash some thumbs, hammer that sub, crush the bell, and salute to El Rocket with the first, the first super chat of the day. Let's hit this the right way.
Acknowledge me.
And I appreciate you on that $2.
Holla, city of squalor.
Say what's good. Troy, appreciate you, man. Thank you. Speaking in third person is wild. I always say this when I've heard people do it. I always say, you're not Elmo. You can't do that. Just saying. There was something I needed that I did not put in the chat that I know I'm slacking on right now. Give me 1 second, because I know we did this very last minute.
Max Martin always told me to do this. What's that one thing Benny told me about? Just
I actually am not going to be on very long as I do have to attempt to get some sleep before this shift this evening. But let me find this and pin this because I definitely didn't. I know I didn't do it today. And I didn't do it the last live either. I've kind of felt bad about that. Where is it? Sorry for the dead air again, guys. I think this is the right one. Nope. Damn it. Hold on, guys. I this is why I don't like to do things on the fly like this, but I was like, I need to come on today. All right. So I just pinned the membership link in the chat. So if you guys want to support me, keep the lights on here. The link is pinned to the top for the memberships. Best way to support me, best way to support the channel. Appreciate y'all. For real, I vote Walt mock draft. Does Walt have a camera? Does Walt have a camera? I'm gonna do some real outside the box shit if he has a camera and can pull up. Uh, Isaiah's over here laughing. You think I'm joking right now? This would be history in the making and something that we've been trying to do for like 2 or 3 years. Walt, you got a camera? Oh shit, Adam, you're an ass. So I don't think he knows what a camera is. Oh my god, I wish I had the Clint Eastwood get off my lawn because that's Walt to the T. But I look, I would send him a link and I would let him pull up right now. We just got a new like. Appreciate you. Um, that's coming from the Facebook side of things, so I appreciate y'all over there. Um, I would absolutely send him the link and let him pull up and do a mock draft by himself. Dennis, salute. Appreciate you. That's a fact, CGI. That's a fact. I'm not highlighting that, but that's a fact. But no, he said no camera. Well, you have a mic? Like, you got audio. We could do this, bro. What are we doing? Like, this, people are going to be like, yo, Hammer's wild for doing this shit, but why the hell not? Walt trying to call in on a corded phone. Good Lord. What was the old your mama joke? Your mama's so dumb she tripped over a cordless phone. I'm tired. I'm an idiot. I've done a mock through pick number 49. He at least has a microphone. Look, Walt, if you're on any other social media, I can send you a link right now. I would love for you to pull up and I will let you do a full 7-round mock draft by straight up. Like, nation. Would y'all like to see this? Like, y'all have been wanting, like, Walt's been in the chat talking his shit for a very, very long time. Don't you think it's the right time for him to pull up and do a mock of his own in front of the rest of Raider Nation? Thumbs up, thumbs down. I think y'all should be screaming off the rooftops for this right now because I would absolutely love to do this. Walt, you're being put on the spot, bro, and I don't feel bad that you're being put on the spot. Are you gonna pull up? Or like, can I send you a link for you to pull up right now? We do this mock. See, they're all behind you right now too. No Diddy if necessary. We're waiting. We're waiting. I said, no. 7 rounds, Walt. 7 rounds. You're supposed to be the mock guru, the mock god, the mock genius. Somebody give me another one. Come on, Walt. What was it? Nutty Professor. Come on, ladies. Come on. Come on, Walt. Come on. Let's do it. If he doesn't do it, He will no longer be, and this same as Zamir and taking away that other name, he will not be allowed to be called GM Walt ever again if he doesn't pull up. Just saying. My mock will be through the Raiders' 5th round pick. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. Come on, Cletus. Come on. Mochosaurus Rex. I see no movement here. Hey, yo, yo. Hold on.
Hey, yo.
What the fuck? He said, work on. No. It's not. I'm working on it. Pause. It is. I would love to come on this live. I would love to, even no camera, it could just be audio. I will do the mock draft in front of Raider Nation that's watching right now. We're not calling you GM Walt no more. That's it. Walt got to protect his lawn. He got no time for a mock. Ladies and gentlemen, I tried.
You are about to be unceremoniously blocked.
No, you're not. But Walt being, again, mock god, mock guru, whatever other ones I came up with before, we're taking it away from him. And respectfully, Walt.
You're fired. What?
Oh well. Okay. We'll do one ourselves. Walt, I'm not a mod, just disappointed. I'm not mad, just disappointed. Yeah, I'm kind of shocked right now. I did try to get all right. I can't even. Nope, we're not doing that. Hold on. You just said you like Gen Z number 6, Higgins 37. No. Walt, I said I wanted you to come on this live, no Diddy, and do a full mock. I would have the screen up for you to make your picks. Like, you always hype yourself up, how you know everything, and this, that, and the third. You haven't pulled up. I'm highly disappointed. I'm highly hurt. Yeah, fuck that. Anyways, let me get one of these up, and we'll do one of our own right now. I'm very disappointed right now in the artist formerly known as GM Walt. Very disappointed. Highly disappointed, sir. Let me get this. Let me sign in. We're wildin'? Are we though? Are we though? Everybody was on board to see Walt do a live mock for the world to see, and he passed. I'm working on my own player positional rankings. See, and he's still. You know what I'm hearing from Walt right now? You know what I'm hearing from Walt right now as he continues to type away? Are y'all ready? Maybe the draft's back. In his day, they only had 2. Yo, let's get this shit going, y'all. Um, there we go. Let's get this party started and do a straight up one. We're gonna do a straight up one first, and then we can do a couple of other ones. This trade offer ain't shit. Again, I'm looking at Abdul Carter going to the Giants, so it's not even an option. But look at this. Look at the suggestion. Ginty over Shador. Ginty over Shador. I'll go Ginty here. Cleveland has an offer. Nope. Chargers have an offer. Patriots have an offer. Like I said, I'll do this one straight up and we'll see where it puts us. But taking my receiver here. Yup, stay far away from Shador. Two trade offers. Damn, they got a lot of sixes. Nope. No, that wasn't the one we were talking about before, but Shamar Turner is there, and that was a guy that they just talked about us taking, but I've talked about this. We need a corner. We got our corner. Then we could look at O-line. Then we can look at everything else. Another offer. No. Deion Walker. Dude is a fucking monster. I still don't like a quarterback in this draft. Gunnar Helm. Damn, man. Really? I'll go lot here. Shore up the D line. Nomad. What is good? I'm out here making old jokes, but truth is, I'm probably older than everyone here. Oh, Lord. No judgment. We listen and we don't judge. Yours is there at 143. Yes or no? Thumbs up, thumbs down. I'm going Fairchild because it shores up the interior for us. Nope. Nope. They kind of want us to mess around between offensive line and D line and maybe even a safety. I'm going to go tackle. Again, it's later on. Colton Miller is slated to be a free agent. I really don't see a situation where we do re-sign him. So why do so many people hate yours? You look, I'm a Texas fan, and it's not that I hate him. I have not been happy the last 2 years with his performances. That I'm leaving it at that. Get Kaiser. I can get Castro. And I'm going to take a Ronde Gadsden for the depth for the tight end position. Bryant's gone. We have Mayer. We have Brock. But having additional depth at the tight end position would be good for us. So you guys see it right there. Somebody got a screenshot real quick before it ends. Oh, that's the only thing I hate. Like it won't show like the full thing. Send it to Walt. Should I send it? Should I send it to Walt via carrier pigeon? Would that work? Troy says A minus. I'm top 5 oldest. Nomad, how old are you? B, because you didn't draft a QB. Oh my God. What quarterback do you want? I'm very curious to hear this. Not sure Dylan Fairchild drops that far, but a good draft. If Agbuka drops to 37, I have Agbuka going to 35. Yours loves to throw the ball behind receivers. In the NFL, we call those potential interceptions because of the faster speed. Yeah, we also call that death. Screenshot that and show graph and wasted what a real mock looks like. Here we go again. Y'all are fucking terrible. Oh, damn. Really? Oh, the one that you guys called like the most epic, most elite one that we did last week. I sent the video when I turned it into a short and I sent it to Graph. He never said anything about it, so I don't know. Send it to Saloon Walt right now. Yo, y'all are fucked up. Yo, y'all are fucked up for that. We could do another one, and we could probably do one with trades. Let's restart. Let's get our Raiders. Let's do this one fast. I think we're good. Start this up. Oh shit. I'm pretty sure that this is the one. No, it's not. No, it's not. I was going to say I'm pretty sure that was the one that we got the last time. Would you guys want to trade back here? Say, I love you fuckers, just stay off my lawn. You're a victim of your own A+ draft. Never gonna beat it. Hey, pause. I just did one with no trades. The fuck? I'm not even listening to you anymore. What the fuck? I'm done listening to you. Yo, do we take this or not? Thumbs up, thumbs down. Yes, no. I'm waiting, and salute to everybody on X, Facebook. I think we're on Twitch, YouTube, of course. You guys want to be part of the conversation? Come on over to YouTube. Raider Nation News Today. Caps, yeah. We've what else we got? Yo, the other trades are trash, and at least we get an additional second round and an additional fourth round. But we move back here, we get an additional fifth, a sixth, and a seventh. The last time we did that trade with Dallas last week, we got an additional second. So I'm going to take this one. We'll move back a few spots. Let's see actually how this played out first. And I just saw that we missed out on Genty there. Ward, Hunter, it changed. The Giants took Johnson. Will Campbell at 3. That still stays the same. Graham stays the same. Williams got, okay. Banks goes to the Jets. Sanders still goes to New Orleans. Abdul Carter, that's insane. Javon Walker, they need that. Wait a second. Genty went, why? No, that just Raiders, baby, salute. That is, to me, not realistic for the simple fact that don't the Colts rather, don't they have Jonathan Taylor? I'm tempted to reset this shit right the fuck now. I mean, SDOT, if you want me to go another website, we can do that. Give me another one and I'll use another site. S. Dot, if you have a suggestion, give me another site. We can go to another site. Isaiah said just draft Barron. So y'all can give me a hard time about drafting a Texas guy. Fuck it. We got JD Barron. Y'all are never gonna let me live that one down. Still got our second round pick. Oh shit. You know what? Where did Hampton go? And they have him right now projected going to Dallas. Hampton went to Washington, so him and Brian Robinson, that would be some shit. I'm gonna take Luther here. Ooh. No. I mean, ooh. So look at this, guys. Look at what we have with our first 3 picks. I definitely want a grade after this one from you guys. I want to know how you feel about this draft. Like, this is fucking solid right here. I mean, I'm not doing that. Absolutely. That would be overkill. We're gonna go linebacker here. I got the Rams taking a quarterback at 26. Maybe Jackson Dart. I'm leaving that one alone. Um, shout out to Raider Jeff. Hold on, I gotta get back over. Shout out to Jeff on the $5.
Holla, city of squalor.
What? Yo, Jeff. Yo, salute to Strong Island. Real ones know 21. Real ones know exit 21. We are fucking neighbors. My grandparents were there when I was a child, and I miss y'all. Yo, Raider Jeff, we got a link, bro. 1,000%. We have to link. Salute to God, family, and Raiders for life on the $5.
Holla, city of
I hope
squalor.
Raiders draft Curtis Rourke on day 3. Question: what 2 teams beat Curtis Rourke last year, and what 2 teams were in the national championship? Ooh, valid as fuck. Shout out to Cider on the $2.
Holla, city of
Punchy,
squalor.
what up? Raider Jeff is from my stomping grounds, man. That is some shit. Much love, bro. Let's see. I can go interior here because we didn't yet, and I will. Yeah. Giants are trying to trade with us. Nah, I'm good. This, I mean, I could trade back and get a fifth. Nah, I'll leave it. D line, we add CJ West, or we can go edge and go Ivy. I'm gonna go interior. We got 4 more after this. Nope. Jordan, not saying that name. We can get Castro here. I can add another. Did I go? I did not go edge. Get Quay. We got one more to go, and I'm gonna finish this with the Ronde again. What are y'all grading that one? We traded back to 15 with Atlanta. We got two additional picks. We got JD Barron out of Texas. We got Luther Burden out of Missouri. We got Trevion Henderson. So that Ohio State connection is back with him and Chip. Demetrius Knight, we got another one. We took a quarterback. We got Will Howard out of Ohio State. We got Charles Grant, the William and Mary guard. CJ West, the D lineman out of Indiana. We got Jordan, the corner out of Ohio State. We got Sebastian Castro, the safety out of Iowa. We got Quay Robinson, the edge rusher out of Bama, and Aronde Gadsden, the second out of Cuse. Give me a grade, y'all. Troy said A+. Just Raiders, baby. No Diddy. Solid A, but I hope we get more offensive linemen in the draft. I like the depth that we have in this draft. Currently, as it stands on our roster, as it pertains to the offensive line. But yes, I would love to add an additional, maybe two at best, two more linemen, whether it being one guard and one tackle. But yeah, Wall gave me a B-. Okay, that's cool. We need that monster DT. You're talking about Deion Walker. That kid, I'm afraid, just because of the dude is almost 400 pounds. Can he really move at the next level? I'm very, very nervous about that, Fitzy. I watched him against Texas this year when we played Kentucky, and when I saw him, I was like, holy shit. But I don't know. I don't know if I want to. Trust me, I've drafted him in earlier mocks, but as time progressed and just thinking a little bit more logically, I'm more concerned about his movement, his speed, his agility at the next level. It is. Hammer Kuiper Jr. Yeah, I'm done. Let's take this off the screen. There we go. And we are back. Let me see. That shit was wild. Dolphins release Ramsey. Should we go for it? Oh, shit. Should I just put that up to a poll and see how you guys feel about that? Because, yeah, Ramsey a few years ago, I think this year he didn't do too bad either. But I'm gonna look some things up. I'm going to look some things up momentarily. Hold on, guys. I need to log in to X again. I logged out of a lot of things the other day, so I want to see the latest that we have. Graph actually asked, would you bring in Nick Chubb at a vet minimum? No, because we got Mostert. We're going to draft a running back, preferably Genty. There actually has been some news that has gone on in the last couple of minutes. Sources, and this is courtesy of Ian Rappaport. Cowboys legendary left tackle Tyron Smith is set to sign a one-day contract and retire as one of the organization's all-time greats. Tyron Wilson is retiring. Interesting. Former Montana State quarterback Tommy Mellett visited the Bengals today after working out last week for the Cowboys. The Walter Payton Award winner Mellett also did receiver and punt return drills at his pro day. The Commanders plan to work him out next week in Bozeman. And this is from Mike Garofalo. Again, this was not about scrambling on Shedeur Sanders. The Giants are doing work on all the QBs, and if you wonder why Jackson Dart isn't mentioned here, they've done work on him, on and with him previously 9 days ago until we get the real answers. And here's something else from Ian Rappaport about 45 minutes ago. The Giants will have a busy week as they're set to work out Bama quarterback Jalen Milroe privately, sources say. So Shedeur Sanders, Tyler Show, and Milroe as New York Giants continue to do work on top quarterbacks. Interesting. Is there anything else right now? This was 17 minutes ago from Adam Schefter, Miami GM Chris Greer, two reporters today about cornerback Jalen Ramsey's future with the Dolphins. We decided it was probably in the best interest for all parties to move forward. And we have a phone call coming in. Hold on, guys. Give me a thumbs up once I know you guys can hear everything. Yo.
What up? What up?
Ladies and gentlemen, it's the Hammer and Joe Show. The Hammer and Joe Show. Salute to the Demon King, Jason Hunter. He just gifted 5 Raider Nation News Today memberships. Guys, again, if you want to be part of the Green Dot Gang, want to support me, keep the lights on here. The link is pinned at the very top. Salute to Sports Talk with G. Salute to Mava. Salute to, I'm just going to say, Yorkie Raider. Graham Cam, welcome to the family. Joe, what's good, bro?
What's up, brother? I'm having the time of my life right now, bro. Like, I ain't even gonna sit here in front. I've been for over a week now. I got out to Cali to hang out with my kids and their mom, and it's been it's much needed because I don't see my kids as much as I would like to see them, my 2 little ones. So to be out here and to kind of like chill with them and they're on spring break has been so dope. So getting work done, but at the same time, just enjoying my time with them. So it's good. I'm great. And a lot of little tidbits today, I see.
We just went through everything that has transpired probably within the last hour. All this stuff on Twitter. Tyron Smith, the left tackle for the Cowboys, is set to retire. The Dolphins are mutually set to explore trade options, and it wouldn't be a surprise if he played elsewhere in 2025, and that was courtesy of Ian Rappaport. Miami and Ramsey do $25.1 million fully guaranteed this season. Where's it? Could be parting ways. So yeah, that's a fucking heavy penny. I don't know if I necessarily want to take on that. What are your thoughts?
Well, first of all, I want to give a shout out to Slick Rick on Twitter. He's the first one that had that the Dolphins were going to be losing or moving on from a all-pro player. He did that on Saturday. If you guys, he gets a lot of stuff right, and he's wrong with some stuff too. But Slick Rick is one of the best follows for getting information ahead of time. However way he gets it, he gets it. Look, here's the thing. Like with Ramsey, to me, there's 3 teams that make sense in no particular order: the Raiders, the Falcons, and the Jaguars. And I say that because Ramsey, I think, is at the unique position in his career where he can kind of do what Charles Woodson did towards the back end of his career in Green Bay. And then when he went back to Oakland, where he can play that slot role, but also go play some safety. And I think that he would be an elite free safety with his ball skills and his willingness to come up and hit people. The contract can be reworked. David Mulugeta is the best agent in the game. And that's no disrespect to the GOAT, Lee Steinberg, but David is just different. And David's going to do his best, but he also will make sure that if it's a team that Jay wants to go to, he'll work the contract out the way that he wants to work it and get it to where the trade could happen to wherever it is. So that's one I would definitely keep an eye on, just because I think, again, that is like $25 million, and they're not going to release him. They're not going to take that cap. They're going to get something for him. And what that does in a lot of other ways is an already soft market for Jair Alexander, for instance. This is going to make it even more difficult for if Green Bay wanted to move on from him, which I'm not sure that they actually do. And that could be another name that gets moved during the draft. But if Ramsey can be had, I think he's a great fit for what Pete wants to do with the Raiders. He's not a bad teammate. You've never heard teammates say he's a bad teammate. You've heard good things about him. So again, culturally it fits. So Jalen Ramsey and the Raiders make a ton of sense. The Falcons make sense to reunite him with Raheem Morris, and then Jacksonville, just because that's where he started off and there's a history there and there's a need there with the Jaguars. So those are three teams I would keep an eye on. I don't think there's an early favorite since this just kind of publicly broke less than an hour ago or so. With Tyron Smith, man, like he's an Inland Empire legend, IE legend from Moval, Moreno Valley in the Inland Empire, where I'm from. And he's a guy that from the time he was in high school, he was a man child, and then to go to USC and then have the career he had with Dallas. There's not a bad thing you could say about Tyron Smith. He could be a Hall of Famer. And, again, like offensive linemen are a little bit harder to kind of determine whether or not they're a Hall of Famer, unless you're like Anthony Munoz, another IE legend, or Tony Baselli, or Roman, Willie Roaf, guys like that. So, that Dallas has some problems up front. Like, I know a lot of people want to talk about, they need a running back, or they need another receiver, or they need to get that offensive line in order to lose Zach Martin and Tyron Smith, who I know he's been injured a lot recently, but to lose both of them in the same offseason, that's a hard hit right there. And then, something I started, even though I'm on vacation, I'm still like texting a lot of people, and got some interesting feedback on Aston Genty. They're talking about New England and Jacksonville both are in play at 4-5. And I literally asked this to, if the Raiders are truly interested, this isn't just to try to have them try to do something crazy. There's a genuine instance that McDaniels does feel that a running back would be, that even though they have Las Vegas high school football legend Ramondre Stevenson there, to get someone like Genty would be big. And then with Jacksonville, they need a running back as well. And that could be something that Lee Cohen wants to have, since we've seen what he did with Bucky last year down in Tampa Bay and how vital it is to the offense. I did ask a veteran talent evaluator, a guy that's been in the game a very long time, was related to me by marriage for a number of years, that he's been with the team now for well over 25 years, and he's one of the best at what he does. I asked him specifically about Genty, and because the team that he works for has no interest in a running back, they're solidified there with a veteran and a couple young guys. He said, and I said, no, I hear this generational thing. He goes, he's not generational, but he's special in the sense where the first guy doesn't bring him down. We got on the phone and talked a little bit, and again, because people talk about size wise that he's 5'9", 213. That there's a Barry Sanders, Emmitt Smith. He goes, he's more Emmitt Smith than he is Barry Sanders, where he'll get hit once, bounce off. It's going to take another guy or two. He's faster than Emmitt coming out, but he's got better hands. The thing that I do want to say, and again, I've seen him play in person 3 times during the course of the last 2 years. I've had the pleasure of speaking with him 2 of those 3 times. And the kid is a great kid from, again, cultural standpoint. He makes a lot of sense for the Raiders. The kid is a military kid. Parents were in the military. He had a lot of offers after his sophomore season, heading into last season, to leave Boise State, huge NIL offers. And he decided to stay at Boise State because he loved his teammates and wanted to finish what he started there. So he's a high character guy. He is deeply religious, where his faith is foremost to him. And he's a guy that is loyal. So there's a lot of like personality wise and all that, like he checks every box and he's super clean. It's just, you look at the running game, you look at how Boise used him last year. He basically was their offense. Their quarterback was solid at best. So he got the ball a ton. There's a lot of wear on the tires, beyond what people may want to, he had X amount of carries the year before and X amount of freshman year. Last year, the amount of carries that he had, they're trying to get him the record. And then you look at that last game, he wasn't he wasn't dominant at all. Like he looked like a regular player against a Power 4 team. So to me, against the Utah States and against some of these other teams, he looked very good. But the Oregon game early in the year, I kind of throw things out just because no one knows what they have. But Genty is a guy that, I mean, again, I don't know if at 6, Pete Carroll would and John Spytek would really want to go that route. Even Tom Brady, for that matter. I don't even know if they'd want to go that route. I'm of the belief, and I just as of today, and I said it the other day, with Shador being in Vegas last night, if he's there at 6, to get a young guy who you can groom for a year or two, you can clean everything up in terms of like mechanically, you can maybe do something to help increase some arm strength. You can do something to get him to know the offense and exactly what you want him to do. I think that he makes a lot of sense at 6, and just to sit and wait, for a year or two. That's my opinion. Knowing that's my opinion, they're probably going to go a different route and draft a D lineman. So there's that. So I mean, a lot of good stuff today, man. Though, like again, like to see, to be 9 days away from the draft and to see where things are at, I think it's the Raiders are in a really good position, especially like there's Derek Carr news is sad. No matter how people feel about Derek and what he did or didn't do, or what he accomplished or failed to accomplish as the Raiders starting quarterback, Derek was always, at least to me, he's always been cool to me. We always have some cool exchanges because we know some of the same people where he went to college in Fresno. So there's a little, just step aside and crack a couple jokes. But a shoulder injury with a quarterback is never a good thing. I think the only one that's ever really came back from anything, and he never had great arm strength, but he still was an elite quarterback, was Drew Brees. So for something, I just hope Derek's okay. I think JT said it best today, with JT's tweet, where, he basically said he wants nothing but the best for Derek. And for those that don't, like, stop following him and jump off a cliff because, it's bigger than football sometimes.
Yep.
And this is one of those cases.
Yo, can we those in the chat, can we chill out with the holy war, please? Thank you. Jesus.
Yeah, we're not talking religion, man. Like this, we're talking football. Like, just stop. Like this is the thing, man. This is the thing. Like, Derek is so polarizing. And what I would just straight up, I think I've told you this, Hammer. When I was running franchise sports media before I left, and I would bring people on during their interview process, I would say this word for word to them because of the type of character Derek Carr has as a husband, a father, anything else. I don't care. I would say this. I don't care if you're at a strip club on a Tuesday night, it's 4 a.m, and you see Derek Carr doing blow off a stripper's ass. That's not a story to me because we don't know what that man's going through personally. If something were to happen outside of it or it affects his play and there's proof, now you have a story. But we're not TMZ, and the TMZ does a phenomenal job at what they do, but we're not a rumor monger site. And I say that because that's something that Derek Carr would never do. And that's the type of character that he has. So when it comes out, like, let's be real about this when it comes to Derek Carr. And I'm not a Derek Carr fan and I'm not a Derek Carr hater. I'm just a realistic person. Derek Carr stopped the aneurysm at the Raiders quarterback position that they've had since Rich Gannon. And for the amount of time that Derek was there, they did not have to worry. They, being the team and the fan base, did not have to worry about the quarterback position. And since Derek left, what has happened? The quarterback position, once again, has become a void. So let's give the proper respect to Derek Carr for what he did in terms of stopping the bludgeoning and the bleeding at the quarterback position for the franchise, which he wanted to play for, which he grew up rooting for. Let's appreciate that. Did he lead you to the playoffs twice? Once he got to play, once he didn't. Did he do great no, he didn't. But what he did was he added a calmness there, which has to be appreciated. And to win a Super Bowl isn't hard. That's why people talk about Aaron Rodgers. Oh, he only has one Super Bowl. Yeah, but winning the Super Bowl isn't easy. That's why only one team's been able to do it for how many years. He also had to go against arguably the greatest quarterback ever in Tom Brady, who has how many Super Bowls, and knock people out. That's like saying, well, whomever only had one title during the Jordan era. Yeah, you're going against Michael Jordan. So Derek did a lot of good things. Was there a lot to be desired on the field? Yes, he made some mistakes. There are some things, but he also went against the grain. Look at that Seattle game, his final year there with McDaniels. He audible to a play or changed the play. McDaniels was pissed, and Josh runs 80 yards or 60 yards to a touchdown. Their team's happy. McDaniels looks pissed that they won because he changed the play. But regardless, that's Derek trying to win a game. And he play be damned. Play call be damned. I'm going to try to win this game. This is what I see. I'm going to do this. So there's no need to be pissed at Derek Carr or talk about his religious beliefs. That's that man's personal life. That has nothing to do with football. That's got nothing to do with the Raiders. And quite frankly, since Derek left the Raiders, Raider fans still talk about him like he's still the quarterback of the Raiders. Let that man go play in New Orleans. Let him be who he is. Let's let that shoulder heal up for him. Because to talk about someone's shoulder and wishing some type of injury or happy that someone's injured, that's bad karma. That's bad juju. And the Raiders are in no position to wish bad juju on anybody.
Moving on. Shout out to 80s baby. Draft Shador, Campbell, or move back. And I see them talking about Starks. A lot of boom. There's your slot corner in packages. Do we do? We got Joe on the line. Like, do we do one more mock? Thumbs up, thumbs down, y'all. Marcus said, "Mic drop." I'm so done with y'all.
They didn't like the car take.
Some did.
I mean, it's just like again, like I mean, the thing is, it's at the end of the day, like this is a guy that I've been around. You know what I'm saying? Like you get to know somebody, and trust me when I say this, a lot of people who would have that opportunity and to ask those questions or whatever, like wouldn't ask them because you get around them. And now it's not, there's no Twitter fingers or whatever. People can say what they want. You know, this is there's an accountability side of things and a professionalism side of things. And that's something that needs to be taken into account. You know what I'm saying? And again, I'm not saying I didn't grow up. I mean, when I went in Green Bay's locker room when they played the Raiders, I know 3 or 4 players on that team that are still on that team. You go in there and you act professional. And as someone in the media, you take care of your business. Where and I'm a fan of that team. When I go into the Raiders locker room, I'm there to do business. And there's no fandom. So I can look at things from a clear lens. And that's all I'm saying is like, look at things through a clear lens. There's no need to misconstrue things or nothing's personal. Trust me, these guys want to win as much as anybody. They want to win more. They got money and jobs on the line, families to support.
Can you see the screen?
Hold on, I have to go on. Hold on.
You do realize I could have just sent you the link on your phone and you could have just ran straight audio?
Man, you know what? I did not know. Man, I did not know that.
I feel like you're just as old as Walt.
No, I never thought about that. Like again, I told you I'm on vacation. I'm hanging out with my family. Like I'm enjoying. For you, I 100% will jump on at any point.
Hey yo,
just because you're my brother. But you know what I'm saying. But when it comes to I mean, hit me, you know. But yeah, I'm not about to. Like I've got a couple people. Like people are trying to do business with me right now, and I'm like, look, guys, can this wait until later in the week till I'm driving back? Like, You hit me. You hit me. He's like, hey, want to jump on? I'm like, let me jump in the shower real quick.
No Diddy. No Diddy.
Pause.
Oh fuck.
Straight up, like I'm not even thinking straight right now. It's just what it is. So
All
yeah.
right, so here we are at 6. The team needs are right there, Walt, you old bastard. Like, what the fuck? And running back is a top need right now for us. So, with that being said, with the 6th pick of the 2025 NFL Draft, the Las Vegas Raiders select Ashton Genty, running back, Boise State. If you know team needs, and why the fuck aren't you working for the Raiders? How the fuck aren't you on the scouting department? Why the fuck aren't you in that front office?
Hey, I'm gonna be honest with you. If people think it's so easy to just like, there's so many variables that happen when it comes to the draft and this time of the year. Like it's really ridiculous, and it's not as simple as doing a mock draft. It's not as simple as any of that. There's cultural fits, there's scheme fits, do they want to deal with the agent?
Yep.
There's the player, there's a lot of things that go into play when it comes to it.
37th overall. Think I'm gonna go the route of Luther Burden. Walt said, why aren't I? Because I don't have connections. That's why. Not like that.
It's not about connections. It's about the avenues you take. I didn't look. I got into media and even in the agency world, working with the agency. I got into that world. It's sometimes just works itself out. I didn't get into media with knowing anybody.
This one's not too bad either right now. Chad, what's good? Let's see where we're at. Going into round 4, we got a nice little trade offer here from the Niners. A 4th, a 5th, a 7th, 2 7ths to move back 5 spots.
Who's available? That's the question.
I can go and look in a second, but that's like the best offer. Tyler Show, the quarterback out of Louisville, is a suggestion right now. Good God. Omar Norman Lott, the D tackle out of Tennessee. I'd probably go that route. Or linebacker Danny Stutzman out of Oklahoma. Corner Dorian Strong or Quinn Ewers, and I'm not taking Quinn Ewers.
I would probably take that trade back. And let me tell you about the kid, the quarterback from Louisville. There's a lot of there's some things that are starting to pop out about him.
Yeah.
Which is like, if he couldn't get it done at Oregon and he couldn't get it done at Texas Tech, what makes people think that he can get it done in the NFL?
Wait,
so
what the fuck is the trade offer now? Because now I can't see it. The fuck? Hold up.
See?
I didn't reject it. I just hold on. Offers. Which one did I say? The Niners. And now Baltimore is offering. There's like 4 offers here. No. I'll stay there. Show is still there. I'm not taking him though. I'm gonna go Stutzman. Wait, did we get a corner yet? Nope. I'm going Dorian Strong. Nope. Barrett Carter. So we shore up the linebacker position. Jordan Phillips, D lineman. Like filling every fucking need right now.
And keep this in mind too, and people tend to forget this right now, especially because it is draft season officially. That there is still some pretty good free agents that's out there. And there's guys that you can get late in the year, later in free agency, that will not only fill needs, but potentially be starters. Just because they're not taking day one of free agency doesn't mean that they're trash.
Right.
So, I mean, there's going to be a lot of, again, Pete and Spytek have moves in their back pocket right now. I think that they're kind of waiting. The Jalen Ramsey thing, to me, that's one to watch. I just think that my gut is telling me, just based off of people and what I've been told, and when it happened, it was, hey, this is one you need to keep an eye on. Oh, okay.
What was that?
Oh no, I was moving some stuff around the room. I'm walking around.
One more. I mean, I could take this quarterback. Yeah, right. Fuck out of here.
What quarterback?
No, it's a nobody. Max Brosmer, the quarterback out of Minnesota.
Trash.
This
No offense to his family, but he's
round this one out. I like the fact that we were able to get two guys that I've had like for these first two rounds in Genty and Burden. We're able to still get a corner. We pretty much filled everything in terms of needs. We just didn't take a quarterback here.
and that's okay. And here's the other thing. I got told this earlier today as well, in a text. There is the sentiment that this is going to be a draft that it's a stick and pick draft, but they don't expect a ton of movement in this draft. That would be, would not be a surprise. So, I mean, obviously there will be trades, but there's certain drafts where you have 5 or 6 trades or 7, 8 trades in the first 2 days, and there's drafts where you have 2. This is from what they are expecting to be.
A lot of these teams are sticking to what they really want. If that want is there on the board for them at their pick.
Yeah, like again, I was. Do you remember about a month and a half ago when I jumped on with you and we're doing the Hammer and Joe show? I said that there's 32 first round picks, but there's not 32 first round players, and then they feel like there's 6 elite players, and there's a total of 12 first round picks. Right. After that, everything is pretty much even. It's just like, what's your flavor? So because of that, teams are going to say, okay, like, well, if I want a receiver, okay, do I want a guy that's 6'4" that runs a 4.39, or do I want Luther Burden, or do I want the kid from Ohio State, or I want a corner? Do I want Will Howard? Do I want whomever? Like, is this when it's your pick and those available, like, which one do you have rated higher? You can even move back if a team, let's say a team, for instance, New Orleans they're going to need to draft a quarterback. So if the Raiders aren't in love with somebody at that 6 spot, and they can pick up a first and a second, which could happen, they could pick up a 1 next year, a 2 this year, and move back 3 spots. Why wouldn't you do that in a draft next year that may have more talent?
Right.
And then with that, you can even trade one of, like, and New England was great at this for a number of years. They would trade that one. They would trade that one for that first year, and then they would turn around and have it for have like both years, and then trade one of those first rounds and have another pick going into the following year, and continue to have 2 first round picks. And then whatever year that it's a better draft for them to take 2 players, they do that. So this may be one of those years where that's actually what happens, where if the Raiders were to move back 3 spots, let's say New Orleans does take Shedeur Sanders, which could happen. Now you're sitting there at 9. Genty still could be there.
Look at
'Cause-
this. I just pulled up PFF and I just drew up another mock draft, and the first 5 picks fall like this. Cam Ward 1, Shador going to Cleveland at 2.
That's not happening in real life. but
Yeah,
okay.
exactly. Mason Graham going to the Giants. Will Campbell Will Campbell we know is a lock with New England. Ashton Genty goes at 5 to Jacksonville. And we have our pick of the litter with Travis Hunter, Abdul Carter. Like, this is not fucking realistic.
At all. And the smoke that I'm hearing out of Cleveland is, I think that's going to be a spot. That's going to be a spot probably for Travis Hunter. There is the talk right now, and I don't know, and it is Lion season, but there's a lot of talk that is probably going to be the spot for him, which Abdul Carter to the Giants at 3, which is them and Kayvon Thibodeau, which could make Thibodeau a very interesting trade candidate potentially, because they also have Burns. So, like, again, you get 5 years of another rookie contract. You can rid yourself of Thibodeau. There could be something there. Then you have at the New England spot Will Howard. Then the next spot is Jacksonville, where it could go in a myriad of directions, and then the Raiders. So I think the first 2 picks as of today, if they held the draft right now, based off of just the NFL circles that I'm talking to, and some of my people are talking to, that we have like a group chat between about 5 of us that, are tied in with various teams. So we kind of have a lot of teams covered. We're hearing the same thing. Literally, there'll be Ward, Hunter, and then Carter as 1, 2, 3. And keep in mind too, the algorithms for PFF, they do that purposely so people can go in there. I mean, next week it'll be, because when we did the mocks last year, week to week, sometimes daily, they were different because they would just go in and change the algorithms and change what they wanted to do, just based off of what's going to draw traffic to their site.
I'm definitely canceling my subscription with them. I actually should have did that recently. But I really cannot stand PFF. Like, I'm actually trying to cancel this subscription as we speak.
Here's the thing, like, and I had a subscription through a person with a team that I was able to go in and watch cut ups and get the PFF grades, like the stuff that the teams utilize. And while they are a tool, and in some cases they're really good, especially when you look at like the team perspective, what's their tendencies on 3rd and 3, in the whatever scenario it is, they have the percentage. When it comes to the players and their ratings, I don't necessarily subscribe to that as highly as most, because for the most part, you don't know what they're called to do in that particular play, schematically or whatever. So it is a guess, and it's based off of, well, this is what is normally done. That's the thing that it to me is a little bit is different when it comes to PFF, where I'm not as like bullish on it. I think there's a place for it, and I think there's definitely a good place for it, but also at the same time, I don't look at it as the end all to be all like a lot of people. And like, I'm not going to rail on anybody because I have a tendency to do that. And lately I've been catching myself, and I have to like kind of check myself on that. But I look at, people that haven't necessarily played, and they rely on that completely, versus people that actually played, and or coaches, and they say, okay, look, like, that's not what we do here. Like, our defenses ran a little bit differently. So I don't want to say it's the nerds versus the jocks, but in a lot of ways, it's kind of like the nerds the nerds who didn't play or played but didn't get on the field, against the guy, against guys who actually were out there, or dudes or guys that are teaching it and coaching it, and I understand, and it's different. I just there's a place for it, and then there's not a place for it. I prefer to personally, and I know the coaches I've talked to prefer to watch the film and see where someone made a mistake, because that's all it is. No one is doing anything in today's NFL that's earth shattering and that's revolutionary, and that's revolutionizing the game. I think the closest thing in college football that we have for that is Brendan Marion's go-go offense. Then we'll see that for everybody in Sacktown, up at Sac State this year. You guys are going to see a show with what Brendan does. But there's not a lot of earth-shattering, like there's no revolutionary offense where they're using 3 tight ends. I mean, you look at the trends in the NFL, for instance. Bill Belichick's always gone the opposite way. When everybody was spreading people out, he was using 2 and 3 tight ends. When guys are going tight, he was going to open it up. Like, it's just okay, you're doing that, well then I'm going to do this. We can still do the other thing, but this is what we're going to make our hay on this year. And I think that's smart. So PFF is what it is. And again, I don't subscribe to, like, I don't anything have to pay for a mock draft. I'm not going to do that. Like, because at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter. It's my opinion. It's our opinion. It's your opinion versus the reality of it, which is no team is going to look at a mock and they don't look at the mock that they did look at on a regular was Mayock's mock when he was with the NFL Network,
Right.
because his was sourced. But even with Mel Kiper, they don't look at Mel's mocks, and they don't look at Matt Miller's mocks, who's phenomenal, or Field Yates, or DJ's, which probably gets more views than most. They definitely don't look at McShay's. Those are just, I mean, those things that don't matter to teams because they're knee deep in. They have all the data in front of them, from knowing the kid's personality and family traits to, seeing all the film of what he did on the field. Like, they have all the information. And right now they're just doing, like, Shador going to do a workout with the Giants. That's coming from the Mara family. The owner wants a workout because he may force Joe Shine to make that pick and make him be the pick. Like, dead ass. Like that's what that's telling me. That's not coming from Dayball or Joe or anybody. That's coming from Mr. Mara saying, I want him in here. I want to see what this is about. And I could definitely see that being a scenario where, no, we're taking the quarterback, so do it. And then what happens then? Then Abdul Carter to New England or Jacksonville? I don't see a world where Jacksonville doesn't take him if he slides.
Yeah.
And I don't even think Vrabel passes on him at 4. So I'll tell you what I would like, though. I would like the Raiders to pull the trigger on Tyler Lockett, like, get that done.
Now?
Yeah, like, it's been the worst kept secret among circles that that's where he's most likely going to end up, between the Raiders and Seattle. He would fill a need, being a guy that could play the slot. Him and Myers, you can go get a bigger receiver or somebody later on with Tucker. Now you have a lot of speed to go along with Bowers and Mayer. That would just make a ton of sense. Maybe by the middle of next week before the draft, they would do that. They may be waiting to see how the draft plays out, but that should have been done a while ago. And you're not creating the Las Vegas Seahawks. Well, what you're doing is you're bringing in high character guys. Lockett was a leader. Geno Smith was a leader. Those are guys that genuinely will lead on that side of the ball. And with Max and Wilkins and like those are guys that lead on the other side of the ball. And those are things that are important, and those are things that I think that Pete's trying to get established and wants to have established. So a year from now, if there is a character question with the draft prospect, they can be comfortable drafting him and saying, "Okay, we have enough guys in our locker room that we can help with what help this kid out, and maybe have him fit in, or maybe mask some things so it doesn't affect our team in one way or another negatively.
All right. As these guys looking, I'm trying to see what they think of this one because they're talking about draft buzz before, which was what I was using before. Walt said I could see us giving Lockett a 2-year deal, and I'd be perfectly fine with that.
Yeah, and keep in mind, like, a lot of the deals you see, unless if it's a 1-year deal, and if it's a 2-year deal, it's a 1-year deal. If it's a 3-year deal, it's most likely a 1-year deal. 4-year deal is a 2-year deal. 5 is a 3. You always take the last couple years of the deal, the back end deals, you take them off because it's just for the agents to say, look at what we did numbers wise versus the actual numbers.
Right.
That's where Andrew Brandt, if you guys don't follow him on any social media, especially on X, Andrew Brandt is literally the best when it comes to the deals because he will tell you exactly what's what. He's a former NFL executive with a couple different teams, the Redskins at the time in Green Bay. Andrew was in charge of the contracts for both of those organizations. And he will tell you exactly what he'll translate when a player gets in trouble, he'll put translation, we're pissed. Like, they could put out some statement, but it's we're pissed. Or there will be lawyers when it comes to this, or really it's this deal. He's phenomenal at what he does. And he actually teaches a class on it as well. At a school back east. I forget which college. But Andrew's great at what he does.
We have been on. I need to look at this show. We've been on for an hour and a half. Like, I was not expecting to be on this long. It is what it is. Like, I have to get my ass to sleep. I have to be at work in like less than 3 hours, and I'll be on till like 1:30 tonight. So, Joe, appreciate you calling in. Continue to enjoy your vacation with the kiddos, and I will
Oh,
talk to you soon, bro.
yeah. Hey, real quick. I know we're gonna get off real quick. I'm gonna send you a video of the kids during Seth Rollins' entrance last week. They they have been locked on to WWE. I know it's WrestleMania week. My birthday's Friday. It sucks that I'm not going to be home for WrestleMania, but it's in my city. But it's cool. But what did you think of Raw last night?
You're the second person to ask me during this live. The end was pretty good. I just need Mania to be here this weekend. I really do. And I'm
What else?
I'm really looking forward to next Monday night because the night after WrestleMania is always
Oh,
some type of surprises. We might see some guys return, maybe Aleister Black, maybe well, what does he go by now? Miro, so Rusev, like we'll see.
yeah. I what I will say is I did like the ending. I think Jay is in a zone, and I love that. Gunther cut a great in-ring promo.
Yeah.
But it seems to me, because last year's ramp up to WrestleMania was so freaking good, this year's been somewhat of a disappointment, if I'm being honest.
You still have SmackDown to watch for 3 hours on Friday. Like, there could be some really interesting shit that goes down. And somebody put up one of those little conspiracy theories. I saw this like late last night in terms of Jay and Cena and The Rock. Something to really look at this coming weekend and see out of those two who comes out as new champions or not. Like, it's going to be very, very interesting. But I think that The Rock might potentially have a stable put together that might include Cena and Jey Uso.
I think Paul Heyman ends up rocking with Seth Rollins.
Wow.
Think about it. Seth brought up some very interesting points last Friday night when he said when the bloodline was coming after you, where were your two friends? Who like one abandoned you and went to a whole other company. And then he didn't curb stomp him. Last night, he took the chair to Punk and Roman. Nothing happened to Heyman. I legitimately think that there is
Seth
a
walks out
scenario.
of Allegiant with Paul Heyman.
Yep. And he wins Mania that way, and then that sets off. I have a couple different things. It's something that it's a whole nother thing that we could talk about. I know Raider Nation don't necessarily want to hear it, but yeah, but the kids, I'm gonna send you a video. You'll have it when you wake up from your nap, that of the boys, the Seth's entrance, and you're gonna laugh because it happened last Monday, and after I got here, and they were wilding. So, brother, it's always good to come on the show. It's always good to chop it up. We'll do a lot more of these in the next upcoming days. And Raider Nation, I love y'all, man. You guys are great. Salute to all y'all. And it's draft season, so and Mania season. So we're gonna get after it.
Talk to you, brother.
All right, brother. Later.
Shout out to Joe. You guys got, I think it's 2 straight lives now. The Hammer and Joe Show. The Hammer and Joe Show. I appreciate each and every single one of y'all that pulled up, whatever platform you pulled up on today, X, Facebook, Twitch, YouTube. Those that are not on YouTube, you have to come over to YouTube, hit that subscribe button. Doesn't cost you a thing. It's the best way to be a part of the conversation with the rest of Raider Nation. On your way out, if you haven't already, do me a favor, smash some thumbs, hammer that sub, crush the bell to stay up to date with all your Raiders news, rumors, updates, live streams, and reactions. And the house that Hammer built by the nation, for the nation, Raider Nation News Today. Continue to stay safe. Most importantly, be kind to one another. COVID or not, you should always remember to wash your hands and your asses. And as always, win, lose, or tie, Raider Nation till I die. Till next time, y'all. And of course, as always on my New York, peace, love, and positivity. And oh yeah, there's that part too.
And when I leave, come together like butt cheeks.
We outro, y'all. Have a great rest of your Tuesday.